Okay. Hare Krishna. So, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 8, talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. We are going to start from text 6. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So who is there? Want to read Bengali? Is Nrsimha Praladeswar Prabhu? You want to read the Bengali? Acha. This is, I can read this, okay? Ugrapi anugra evayam swabhaktanam kesari kesari vaswa patanam anye samugra vikramaha. Although very ferocious, the lioness is very kind to her cubs. Similarly, although very ferocious to non-devotees like Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsimhadev is very, very soft and kind to devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. Purport. This verse was composed by Sridhar Swami in his commentary on the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Should we read this one?
Yes. এই মতো নানা শ্লোক
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
এই মতো নানা শ্লোক পড়ি স্তুতি কইল নৃসিংহ সেবক মালা প্রসাদ আনি দিল।
In this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited different verses from the Shastra. The priest of the Lord, Nrsimhadev, then brought garlands and the remnants of the Lord's food and offered them to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschyata Desa Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas. We are reading this from Madhya Leela, Lord Chaitanya's South India tour, which narrations has been started. So here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. He reached Nrsimhadev temple, and that Nrsimhadev temple is known as what is that?
Simhachalam Lakshmi Narasimha.
Just Simhachalam, Jihad Nrsimha Simhachalam?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. So Jihad Nrsimha. Anyone been to there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, you are next to your house.
Yes.
Nice. Anyone else been there? I went, yeah, and we used to go. It's 4 or 5 hours probably for us. Been there. Jihad Nrsimha is on a mountain. So throughout the year, the Nrsimhadev is covered with sandalwood paste, because the Nrsimha is ferocious. It's an Ugra Nrsimha, right? Ferocious Nrsimha. So they keep Lord Nrsimha. They were always covered. So you will see like a civiling only most of the time throughout the year. You really one cannot have darshan of the deity. Isn't it true? Only once in a year, I think during Chandan Yatra, right? So they open it and reapply throughout the year.
Akshaya Tritiya, they do that.
Akshaya Tritiya, acha. Thank you. And isn't it to whole year they'll be covered like Sivaling only covered with sandalwood paste, like round
Yes.
of sandalwood paste they will cover. But the Lord and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he visited Jiyada Narsingha Dev's temple, Simhachalam, and in ecstasy chanted and danced. And interestingly, the statement here is given. Did I read the 6? Yeah. 6, 7 I read also. Yeah. It says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered, recited different verses from the Shastra. So that is what I was trying to share at this time. When the prayers offered to the Lord has to be selective verses, not whimsically cannot be offered. The great Mahajanas offered the prayers, and we follow those prayers, footsteps. Mahajana Yenagata Supanta. So our process is following the Mahajanas. We take the selected verses from the Shastras itself. We don't compile our own. We don't have qualification. Yeah, when one becomes advanced, become Mahajana by following a Mahajana, he or she will be able to offer these prayers like when Kunti has her prayers, Rupa Goswami has his prayers, Srila Prabhupada has his prayers, like that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here recited different verses from the Shastra. Then the priest of the Lord Nrsingadev temple, he offered Mahagarland, and remnants of the Lord Nrsingadev offered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 8.
পূর্ববৎ কোন বিপ্রে কইল নিমন্ত্রণ, সেই রাত্রি তাহা রহি করিলা গমন।
As usual, a Brahmana offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu an invitation. The Lord passed the night in the temple and then commenced his tour again. Interesting, right? Mahaprabhu goes and he's getting invitations from Brahmanas. Why Brahmana? Why Brahmana? Yes, everyone can desire to serve. Especially we read before, the sannyasis are allowed to stay at Brahman's house because of the guidelines and the protocol they follow is suitable by Brahmana. Other varnas can serve, but it's not suitable for sannyasis. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Varanasi, he stayed with Chandrasekhar and Kasi Misra, Kasi Misra and Chandrasekhar. They were not Brahmanas, but they were devotees, new devotees. So as Brahmanas, they're not different between Brahmanas and devotees. Devotees are always situated in Brahmanical platform. So sannyasis can stay. They feel comfortable to stay. Just like when we travel to different homes, friends and relatives, once we become devotee, we find uncomfortable, isn't it? If their food habits and lifestyle is very different, it's not very much compatible. So Brahmanas generally invite sannyasis, and here also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been invited by another Brahmana. So in following the footsteps here also in ISKCON as well, when we see great souls and sannyasis and great souls, devotees invite, please come and have prasadam in our home. That's the culture. Not only sannyasis, other devotees also we can invite. That's the culture of inviting each other, sharing prasadam, revealing confidentiality. The other things given in our sampradaya. Next time, please.
প্রভাতে উঠিয়া প্রভু চলিলা প্রেমে বেশে, দিগ্বিদিক নাহি জ্ঞান রাত্রি দিবসে।
The next morning, in the great ecstasy of love, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started on his tour with no knowledge of the proper direction, and he continued the whole day and night.
পূর্ববৎ বৈষ্ণব করি সর্বলোকগণে, গোদাবরী তীরে প্রভু আইলা কতদিনে।
As previously, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted to Vaishnavism many people he met on the road. After some days, the Lord reached the banks of river Godavari. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in his mission. Krishna is in his mission. In this age of Kali, he wanted to deliver everybody. Papita Pijotatilu Harinam Odhaila is Mahavadanyaya. So to fulfill that mission, he took the garb of a sannyas. He left Navadip, came to Jagannath Puri. He made his kind of a base, you can say, for sannyasi. But that's not his goal, purpose. He wanted to travel each and every village and deliver them. He converted to Vaishnavism means, gave Krishna prema. Everyone he gave Krishna. Everyone those who saw him got attracted and accepted to Vaishnavism. Many people he met on the road he gave. So that's what he continued. From Nrsingadev temple, Simhachalam to Godavari. I think this is Rajamandri area, right? Yeah. Father, he walked in just without any proper direction. He just continued to walk. He reached the bank of Godavari.
গোদাবরী দেখি হইল যমুনা শরণ, তীরে বন দেখি স্মৃতি হইল বৃন্দাবন।
When he saw the river Godavari, the Lord remembered the river Yamuna. And when he saw the forest of the banks of the river, he remembered Sri Vrindavan Dham.
সেই বনে কতক্ষণ করি নিত্য গান, গোদাবরী পার হানা তাহা কইল স্নান।
After performing his usual chanting and dancing for some time in this forest, the Lord crossed the river and took his bath on the other bank.
ঘাট ছাড়ি কত দূরে জল সন্নিধানে, বসি প্রভু করে কৃষ্ণ নাম সংকীর্তনে।
After bathing in the river, the Lord walked a little distance from the bathing place and engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna.
হেনকালে দোলায় চড়ি রামানন্দ রায়, স্নান করিবারে আইলা বাজনা বাজায়।
At that time, accompanied by the sounds of music, Ramananda Rai came there on a palanquin to take his bath. So, any comments so far? Any comments? Reflections so far? Anyone would like to share? We can see that the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the ashram of sannyas. What is the activity? Sannyas ashram, singing and glorifying the Lord, chanting the holy name, visiting holy places, and sharing everyone the Krishna conscious message of Lord Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is leading a perfect example, not carrying so many belongings, just enough for bodily maintenance, little bit. And as a sannyasi, he depends on he can beg some alms and he can collect it as a sannyasi. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been invited by many Brahmins anyway. So he reached the Godavari river. And as soon as he sees the river, he remembers Yamuna, Vrindavan. And as soon as he sees the forest, he remembers Vrindavan. Why? Because the one whose eyes are anointed with love of Krishna, everything they see Krishna everywhere. They see everything relationship to Krishna. or Krishna's abode. They see a cow, reminds them of Krishna. Oh, how much Krishna loves cows. They see a tree, they can remind of a tree of forest. It's all in one's mental situation. They see devotees and they see how they get joyful because devotees reminds of residents of Vaikuntha and Goloka. As soon as the tilak wearing. Similarly in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we can see the Yamuna river, not Godavari river, he sees and remembers Yamuna and Vrindavan forest. He chants and dances in ecstasy, and then after some time he is sitting and chanting, and during that time, as expected, arranged by the Supreme Lord himself, Ramananda Raya, who comes there with Palanki to take bath. And what is the accompanied by the sounds of music? Because he is a governor. He was not a, that's the way in the past, the great, I don't know much, but now also we can see how the people who are highly situated who has high seat in government position. That's the way culture it is. Was it culture in the past? Anyone remembers? There used to be band. Till now we can see when the king of Jagannath Puri, he goes to sweep the road for Lord Jagannath. So he was also accompanied by instruments. I don't know if you all see or not. If anyone noticed that. So that's the way the kings used to travel and accompanied by bands. And here is the governor. Maybe they had that facility also. I don't know much. I want to ask if anyone has any experience. Of course, we don't live in that world now. I'm not expecting, but anyone has any idea on this? Mother Vindyaval is not here. Huh? She doesn't know. Okay. Well, that's the local band. It is a local. In India, every place has the local bands, and those bands are traditional. They learn from from their ancestors. They continue their culture from father to son, father to son. So this is sect of people who actually supposed to be very proficient in playing band, and they do for marriages and for special occasions, the festivals, everything they do it. And beauty of it is every place has their own sweet sound. So here Ramananda Rai was accompanied by the sounds of music in a palanque to take his bath at river Godavari. Yes.
তার সঙ্গে বহু আইলা বৈদিক ব্রাহ্মণ বিধিমতে কইল তেহ স্নানাদি তর্পণ.
Yeah, many brahmanas following the Vedic principles accompanied Ramananda Raya. According to the Vedic rituals, Ramananda Raya took his bath and offered oblations to his forefathers. This is also, we can look into it. It's not like even though that water is very auspicious, we can go and jump into water. There's a process, there's a vidhi, there is a rituals needs to be followed when we take bath in the holy river. If anyone been to Vrindavan, many of you, some of you been to Vrindavan or any holy river, you will find priests sitting there. They will help you, chanting some prayers, offering worship first before one takes bath. Anyone want to share anything? I know there are some priests, they can really be behind you to ask for money and everything, but the culture is still there. Has anyone noticed? Culture is still there.
Yeah, I know when I first went there, first at the Ganga, I was always very impressed by I guess, the respect that people took in going to take a bath in the Ganges.
You're talking your experience in Mayapur?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, very nice. They are not they are not just swimming pool, you just jump, and there's proper way we can worship, then we enter into the water. So Ramananda Rai here was accompanied by the Brahmanas, many Brahmanas who offered prayers and rituals, Vedic rituals, then gave him bath, or he took his bath. Then after bath, he offered oblations to his forefathers. Please.
প্রভু তারে দেখি জানিল এই রামারায় তাহারে মিলিতে প্রভুর মন উঠি ধায়।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that the person who had come to bathe in the river was Ramananda Rai. The Lord wanted so much to meet him that his mind immediately began running after him. Sometimes such kind of statements can put in one's doubt. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is there for him not to understand? He knows everything. He's omnipotent, omniscient. He knows everything. Still, we read because could understand that the person who had come to bath in the river was Ramananda Rai. Yes, but it's his pastime, his Leela. Now, Ramananda Rai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows Ramananda Rai, who is his eternal associate. A sannyasi or Lord Krishna, they don't get attracted to just like anyone else, just like that. The Lord has wanted to meet him. His mind immediately began to running after him. He wanted to really meet him. But it's interesting. Let's see how he's going to attract.
তথাপি ধৈর্য ধরি প্রভু রহিলা বসিয়া রামানন্দ আইলা অপূর্ব সন্ন্যাসী দেখিয়া।
So although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was running after him mentally, he patiently remained sitting. Ramananda Rai, seeing the wonderful sannyasi, then came to see him.
সূর্য শত সমকান্তি অরুণ বসন সুবলিত প্রকাণ্ড দেহ কমল লোচন।
Srila Ramananda Rai then saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be as brilliant as 100 suns. The Lord was covered by a saffron garment. He was large in body and very strongly built, and his eyes were like lotus petals. Such a beautiful description. The beauty is the opulence of the Lord. And this Parasara Muni says there are six attractions of the Lord, all attractive. And one is beauty. And Lord Krishna is the source of all beauty. And it is natural for someone to get attracted with beauty. Right? It's natural. So here we can see Ramananda Rai, saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's beauty to be brilliant as 100 suns. He was covered with saffron garment. He was large in body and very strongly built. His eyes were like lotus petal. So here is an interesting statement: strongly built. I remember, I think devotee shared when devotees painted Lord Krishna's picture, because Krishna is strong. I heard that initially they build like a very muscular body of Krishna. Anyone remember that pastime? Very muscular. So then Prabhupada, I think he corrected the painting. So, but at least here you can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body was not lean and thin or anything. He was large in body and very strongly built, and his eyes were like lotus petals. These statements can be object of meditation for when we see the Lord, when we remember the Lord, how we can meditate on him. So these are the very helpful statements, descriptions actually. Yeah.
দেখিয়া তাহার মনে হইল চমৎকার, আসিয়া করিল দণ্ডবাদ নমস্কার।
Hmm. When Ramananda Rai saw the wonderful sannyasi, he was struck with wonder. He went to him and immediately offered his respectful obeisances, falling down flat like a rod. We can ask question, did Ramananda Rai just offered obeisances because he's a very good attractive, very beautiful? Why Ramananda Rai? Even though he's a even he is a government servant, like a governor. So why he offered the obeisance like flat like a rod? Any comments?
Krishna.
Hmm.
Because he was sannyasi or he might have heard about him before.
Nice. You gave a first one at least. Prabhupada, it is said that when we see a sannyasi, even if the Mayavadi sannyasis also, it is etiquette that we offer obeisances. So because he saw he's attracted to see the beautiful, the personality, but the more important is that sannyasi is. So immediately he was struck with wonder. He's a wonderful sannyasi. He was struck with wonder. He went to him and immediately offered his respectful obeisances, falling down flat like a rod. That's very nice. It's like a natural attraction comes. It's like a natural attraction comes. The relation between the Lord and devotees. Ramananda Raya is none other than is considered a Visakha Sakhi. So it's natural attraction for the Lord and the Sakhis. So yeah, please read.
উঠি প্রভু কহে, উঠো, কহো কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ,
Mhm.
তারে আলিঙ্গিতে প্রভুর হৃদয় সতৃষ্ণ।
Yeah. Sasna. The Lord stood up and asked Ramananda Rai to arise and chant the holy name of Krishna. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very eager to embrace him. He said, wake up, get up and chant Hare Krishna.
তথাপি পুজিল, তুমি রামানন্দ, দেহ কহে, সেই হনা দাস শূদ্র মন্দ।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then inquired whether he was Ramananda Rai. And he replied, yes, I am your very low servant and I belong to the Sudra community. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very excited to embrace him actually. Isn't it an amazing thing? The Lord is very excited to embrace his devotees. He knew that. He knew that is Ramananda Rai, just trying to control. Lord himself is controlling himself as well. He said, are you Ramananda Rai? And Ramananda Rai confirms, yes, he didn't say no, yes, I'm Ramananda Rai. And generally how you introduce ourselves when somebody says, I work for a social company, I'm a director, I'm a president, I'm so and so like that. That's the introduction we do. But Ramananda Rai's introduction is what? I am your very low servant and belong to Sudra community. So many people are worshipping and bringing him palanquin. But he's presenting himself as a very low, humble. This is the symptom actually. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, when he went to Banaras, Mayavadi sannyasis were like very puffed up and sitting there. Let him come. We'll challenge. And Mahaprabhu is like he has all these tricks how he can attract. He did not take the seat next to them. He went and washed his feet and sat in a place which is very unclean. Through his humility, through his Yeah, simplicity, humility. He actually won the heart of all the people there. He proved that he's great. He proved that he's great. Many times I'm here, how Prabhupada was very much pleased with Jayananda Prabhu. Jayananda Prabhu, very stalwart devotees were there when Prabhupada used to visit California. I think it was California, right? Yeah, San Francisco. But he used to ask, where is Jayanand? Prabhupada is so much in love for him, because of he works so much. He was doing such a wonderful services, but he was always presented himself as a low. Holy name is going to save us, but when we chant the holy name in a humble state of mind, or when we serve in a humble state of mind, this is Ramananda Raya manifested in his expressed in his activities. He didn't say, I'm king, I'm governor, like this. He came, I'm very low servant. Yeah, I'm small little man and belong to very low community. Any comments, please, or corrections up to so far? Please share. You can correct me if
This is somewhat uncommon, because usually a person that's has like a governor. It's a pretty important position in the government. There's some pride that's there, right? They want to help other people. They're in a position where they're in charge of the welfare of others. So they naturally feel, proud about this. And there's some, there can be some arrogance. Maybe they are, generally humble, but at least there's some feeling of superiority over other people. So to see this is actually quite uncommon.
Yeah. And we find in our temples also many times we give special privileges to such people. It's not we are worshiping. Purpose is not we are not worshiping them like that. It's an offense in front of the Lord. But at the same time, those leaders also represent the government. Government represents the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why generally we offer a garland and proper respect. That is one thing. And second is they get sick. If they're happy, they will help us assist us in our movement, spreading Krishna consciousness. And third is they're also, even though they come with a they can be puffed up. Oh, I'm being treated so nicely, and we all get treated nice, puffed up. We all get puffed up and treated nicely, isn't it? So, but they get security. One gets security. So at least remembering the Krishna consciousness is touched. It's very infectious, right? It spreads like anything. So they came in contact with Krishna. They remember all these things. They remember Lord Krishna's beautiful form and service in the temple. And that's why many times we see now also the many great rich people or very famous actors, we find them, they go to the holy places and live and simple. They serve simple. And when we see them, no one will be able to recognize them. So material designations has no value in front of spirituality. That's why we read today morning, Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sarira, Hari Hari bolite nayan babenira. Kabe ama, when will I develop the hankering to serve the dham, to serve the devotees, to read book? Bisaya chhadiya kabe, when will my mind and heart will be free from the material attachments, false designations? That is very much is needed. Until we, do not give up the taste for material enjoyment, spiritual life we will not be in relish. The 10th offense in the holy name we do chant every day is even after so many understanding in this matter, if you still continue to have material attractions, material attachments, that's not a very good thing. It can be an obstacle in our spiritual growth. With proper sadhana, sincere practice, we can slowly develop attachment to Krishna consciousness, and slowly, simultaneously, our detachment to material possessions, name, fame, opulences has to go diminish slowly. Otherwise, not it's becoming an obstacle for us. We may have it, but we always think in the past we were thinking how I can enjoy, make big plans. I'll retire here, I'll buy a big beach house, I will buy a big car. All this in the past we were thinking to enjoy. Now we don't have much attraction to enjoy to those things, but then we can meditate how this much of money I can serve in Krishna consciousness, serve the temple, serve the cows, distribute books, and whatever way, give charity to devotees like that. Those things will come in our mind. Anyone has some comment or realizations on this? About utilizing material energies in the Lord's service. Yukta Vairagya, it's called Yukta Vairagya. You have it, but you think how I can serve the Lord's this mission actually. No comments? Okay, we'll proceed. We will read a few more here.
তবে তারে কইল প্রভু দৃঢ় আলিঙ্গন প্রেমাবেশে প্রভু ভিত্ত দোহে অচেতন
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Sri Ramananda Raya very firmly. Indeed, both the master and the servant almost lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew is Ramananda Raya. I think maybe Ramananda Raya also heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, must have heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by this time, I'm assuming. And why there's a spontaneous love, why spontaneous attraction, why did it came? Both the servant and master embraced each other very firmly. It's like the lost soul, love, beloved for long time. You came finally in association of each other. So they both manifested an ecstatic love, natural spontaneous love, tears in eyes, crying in union.
স্বাভাবিক প্রেম দোহার উদয় করিলা দুহা আলিঙ্গিয়া দুহে ভূমিতে পড়িলা
Their natural love for each other was awakened in them both, and they embraced and fell to the ground. So it's interesting, right? It's not the love is only one way, just Krishna is standing there and all the devotees are loving him, trying to love him, gopis or gopas loving him. No, Krishna also is like equally feeling and reciprocating the same way. The natural love for each other was awakened. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also awakened natural love for Ramananda Raya, and they embraced and fell to the ground. So this is spiritual world. This is spiritual world. Purport. Ramananda Raya was an incarnation of Gopi Visakha. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Lord Krishna himself, there was naturally an awakening of love between Visakha and Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combination of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, and the Gopi Visakha is a principal Gopi assisting Srimati Radharani. Thus, the natural love between Ramananda Raya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awakened as they embraced. So Visakha Devi, one of the principal Gopis, has a very wonderful pastime with Krishna in Vrindavan as his friend of Radharani, and she's older to Radharani actually. So Krishna and Visakha, the eternal relationship. But when they met here, naturally, it's natural an awakening of love between Visakha and Krishna manifested. When we see, many times we will see when we see devotees, we can also feel appreciation a little bit. When we see the deities, we also get attracted, but not to the degree where, where the many great souls get attracted to Krishna or Jagannath like that. Everybody's a person, everybody's some attraction, but those who was deeply in love with Krishna, their attraction for the deity is very different. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, he was like in tears and fell unconscious. And for us, we cannot, it's hard. We just have to develop the taste and, to see the beautiful form of the Lord. Everyone is a different level. So Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a natural life, even though externally they were different, but natural love was manifested. We'll do two more and then we'll stop for any comments.
স্তম্ভ শ্বেদ অশ্রু কম্প পুলক বৈবর্ণ দুহার মুখেতে শুনি গদগদ কৃষ্ণ বর্ণ।
When they embraced each other, ecstatic symptoms, paralysis, perspiration, tears, shivering, paleness, and standing of the bodily hairs appeared. The word Krishna came from their mouths falteringly. So this was the symptom of the one who is inside, in his heart is only Krishna, in his chitta, only Krishna. It just comes in unconsciously, also it comes outside Krishna. They were both chanting Krishna, Krishna, and embraced each other, and with ecstasy, looks like all these ecstatic symptoms manifested. Paralysis, perspiration, tears, shivering, paleness, and standing up on the bodily hairs. The 6 symptoms is manifested here. Generally it's 8, right? I think the 8 symptom, but 6 is manifested here. When I see sometimes Jagannath temple, new simple people also, when they come, they occasionally I see, by seeing the Lord, there were tears in their eyes. That natural tears in eyes, because Lord they have a natural relationship with the Lord. Even though they are not very advanced devotees like that, but when they see Jagannath, and the tears comes from their eyes. Text 25.
দেখিয়া ব্রাহ্মণগণের হইল চমৎকার বৈদিক ব্রাহ্মণ সব করেন বিচার।
When the stereotyped ritualistic Brahmanas who were following the Vedic principles saw this ecstatic manifestation of love, they were struck with wonder. All these Brahmanas began to reflect as follows. So these Brahmins, they're very expert in chanting mantras, very properly, with proper meter they will chant. Everything will do like orthodox, very rigidly and nicely. Expert Brahmanas they are. But it's a rare for them to see the natural love, the loving, love, manifestation of love. They have never seen that. They all got struck with wonder. And with wonder, they began to reflect. So I would like to stop here. I want to hear any reflections or comments, corrections, please. Please excuse me if I may not be correct, but I just thought share some of the things. Did it make sense? Was it meaningful? Anyone want to have some any comment, question? We discussed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his tour continues his tour to South India in a purpose and mission to deliver, propagate Krishna consciousness. He reaches from Simhachalam, Nrsimha temple. He comes to Godavari, bank of Godavari, and he chants, sits, and now he sees Ramananda Rai. And as soon as he sees Ramananda Rai, he is in ecstasy. And they both are in ecstasy, knowing each other because they are naturally attracted. Krishna and Visakha Devi. No questions, comments, so we'll stop it here. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarivascha kripa sindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Everyone have a wonderful day.